In Exodus 4:24 the antecedent of him is Moses. Why did God inflict him with such a near-fatal illness? In all probability, it was because of Moses' neglect of the covenant sign of circumcision in the case of his own son, Gershom. We are driven to this conclusion by the fact that Moses could not recover and escape the death that threatened him until Zipporah had performed this rite on their son.
At a lodging place on the way, the Lord met Moses and was about to kill him. But Zipporah took a flint knife, cut off her son's foreskin, and touched Moses' feet with it. "Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me," she said. So the Lord let him alone. At that time she said, "bridegroom of blood," referring to circumcision.
Obviously, she was strongly averse to this measure, and did it only under compulsion, for she parted company with her husband after reproaching him as a bridegroom of blood. It may have been that the Midianite practice was to reserve circumcision for lads who had just attained puberty, rather than performing it on young and tender infants. But the Abrahamic tradition was to perform it when the child was 8 days old.
Then God said to Abraham, "As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you, the covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. For the generations to come, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including those born in your household or bought with money from a foreigner, those who are not your offspring. Whether born in your household or bought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be an everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant."
Failure to receive circumcision meant that the boy would be cut off from his people. Now, since Moses had been appointed for a responsible role of leadership, he was duty-bound to serve as a good example to the people of Israel, and to show faithfulness to the covenant obligations inherited from Abraham. The only way Moses could be forced into taking this step, against his wife's wishes, would be to afflict him with a potentially fatal illness. And so this is precisely what God did.